What is going on, everybody? It's Alex coming back here with another video, and today we are doing the takeaways for week 9 and 10, now being renamed as What We Learned, and then of course I'm going to insert weeks 9 and 10 of the NFL season, but this is going to be actually the new name of the ongoing series if you guys like it, because I can obviously switch it for postseason, playoffs, Super Bowl, all that jazz, because saying week 10 takeaways is a little bit less fun, a little bit more boring than saying what we learned and then week 10 week 9 addiction, but we'll get through it. Leave your comments down below on what you thought. However, I mean, if you guys know anything, I am going through finals right now, so I've been trying to put up a video every single day for you guys, and getting to these takeaway videos, it's a little bit tough because you guys do want to watch other videos as well. Now let's just roll through with it. Obviously, these aren't adjusted yet, so there are some games, I assume. Yeah, there are some games that have not been corrected, but we'll rock it. Now, we're starting off with Baltimore, Indianapolis. It was 24-10 Ravens, Colts, so Baltimore did win. What we learned is that really Baltimore needs to be more of a ground power team because Lamar is a runner who can throw. I love I love that phrase. I think I heard it today or maybe last week. They're comparing Lamar and Deshaun Watson. They say, right now we have a runner who can throw versus a thrower who can run. And obviously they're referencing Deshaun Watson as the thrower who can run. And I think that's the big difference, is that Lamar really isn't a quarterback at heart. He really is that the runner first mentality, even if he does pretty good job from day to day. But yeah, I mean, Baltimore, they just got to cook. Indianapolis, Philip Rivers didn't look bad at all. Michael Pittman has been showing out. I'm not going to go through every single game. Just going to give you some highlights. Obviously, just talk about the teams and stuff. But Indianapolis, they have a bright future. Philip Rivers is starting to settle in a little bit more. He doesn't look that bad. I just saw the notification because I'm going to be doing a What We Learned Week 11 edition. I just saw that Indianapolis overcame a 14-point deficit, which I was actually watching right before I came into this. Philip Rivers definitely still has it. He started off really sluggish and really slow, but that's okay because, I mean, new system, new team, everything. Philip Rivers is not the Achilles heel of this team. I mean, he can be, easily, but I think that getting Marlon Mack back is going to be the most amazing thing that's ever happened to the Colts, because Marlon Mack's an absolute beast. But yeah, the Colts, they have a very bright future. Michael Pittman, former high school teammate, he has been balling out. He's been doing a very great job, and I saw him today just do it. So awesome stuff there. Houston, Jacksonville. I'm pretty sure Houston won this, right? We got to make sure. Yeah, the Texans won 27-25. Apart from today, Luton's has been playing pretty damn well. I'm just going to highlight the Packers as well. Luton's been putting them in games pretty damn close until today when they face the Steelers, which of course we'll talk about, but 4 picks. We don't know about Luton's future, but if I made this yesterday, I'd be saying, dude, Luton, whatever you want to call him, he actually is pretty serviceable. But again, like Minshew, serviceable is no longer good enough in the NFL. We're seeing a lot of teams need to have the guys who can be real commanders of the team in order to win some games. Now, Minshew could work in a team like Chicago or Luton could work in a team like Chicago where they're actually fucking stacked. But Jacksonville's young and raw, and they need an actual leader. So that's just a big problem. Again, Deshaun Watson's an absolute monster. He's an amazing player, and I was not too high on Deshaun. I mean, I was high on Deshaun Watson. I thought he should have went to the Bears in the first place, but I wasn't as high on Deshaun Watson as everybody else, saying he was a top 2 quarterback, that type of stuff. When there was rumors that he was one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, I was like, let's take a pause. But he's developed so much. He's become one of the best, if not the best quarterback in the NFL, pound for pound. Just because Houston is, I mean, they have a good team, but again, really shitty line. Apart from, of course, Laramie Tunsil balling the fuck out, but yeah, Houston has some liabilities there, but Deshaun's doing a really good job. Vegas, Chargers, we gotta see who won this one. Of course, I gotta keep my phone on me for ESPN here, because I mean, we're going back 2 weeks of stuff. Just want to make sure everything is right for y'all, right? So Raiders did win. I guess I called it, but it was all because of Daniel Parham, I believe, missing that last second catch. And Herbert he has some mistakes, but he's a freaking rookie, for Christ's sakes. Give him a break. Sad note today, speaking of all the rookies, Tua got benched. I mean, again, we're going to be talking about this in the next video, but Tua got benched, and Burrow, I feel so bad for the guy. His knee is not doing too hot. I saw the hit and it was just like, that was pretty horrible. I felt really bad for the guy. But he has a very bright future. All these three franchises have a very bright future. Tua just needs to get his head and ass wired together. But Herbert is kicking ass. To me, Herbert solidified himself as the number one quarterback in this class. Just over the past couple weeks when I see that he's actually carrying his team against really good talent. And I know Tennessee was just beaten by the Bengals, but I feel like we're comparing like 95 to 94 type stuff here. Like we're like going by thin hairs because obviously Herbert has a much better team than Burrow, but Herbert is just looking like he doesn't make too many boneheaded mistakes. And Burrow might just be a little too safe. I'm not sure. But watching him play my Steelers, which we'll talk about, I felt like Herbert showed a little bit more. And that's a surprise. I was a Herbert hater. Next, New England damn near lost to the New York Jets. I mean, like, it came down to the last seconds type shit for New England to be able to win. I thought Sam Darnold was going to play. I'm going to be 100% honest. So I think Sam Darnold, if he played, would have won the game. Because I don't think Joe Flacco is that serviceable. But, I mean, you almost lost to Joe Flacco. Now, New England's come back and done some pretty good shit. But, yeah. I mean, it's a little too inconsistent for me. That's why I'm not doing the New England Patriots video yet for your mock draft. It's just because I have no idea what the fuck you guys are. Like, some weeks Cam looks like Super Cam. Other weeks he looks like a bottom 2 quarterback in the NFL. Just some big change-ups. Seattle, Buffalo. If I'm not mistaken, Buffalo won this one. And that's some pretty big news. You know, Josh Allen going off and he just being able to compete against Russ. Russ, I think, kind of solidified himself as almost out of the race for MVP just by how poorly he's been playing. Just in general, he's been making quite a few mistakes, and he's throwing way more interceptions this year than he has in any other year in recent memory. It's just not really the Russ we're used to seeing. He has these games where he looks great, but a little bit scary. But yeah, Josh Allen's been balling out. Carolina, Kansas City, you know, Teddy Bridgewater going down, that hurts, but we'll talk about the new situation this week. It looks like they have some serviceable guys there. And that's kind of what you want to do if you don't want to take the 4th or 5th best quarterback, right? So, simple stuff. Kansas City just keeps cooking, man. They keep cooking. I mean, the damn Panthers almost came 2 points away from beating Kansas City. But, I mean, didn't they try like a 65-yard field goal or some shit to end the game? I don't know. I know that they've been trying to kick some long ones with Sly, but still, Kansas City is a powerhouse. We all know that. Denver, Atlanta. Did the Falcons win this one? I mean, the Falcons today, spoiler, did not look too hot, but the Falcons did beat the Broncos 27-34. And, I mean, Matt Ryan's looking mediocre at best, if we're going to be honest. He's just been pretty lackluster. He has games where he's hot and then games he's really fucking cold. And as a fantasy owner, I feel that. Of course, I sit him against a guy like Denver, and then, of course, he goes and like gets a rushing touchdown, shit like that. I'm not sure if that was the Denver game, but you guys get the hint. Atlanta is another big question mark. Like, are you guys going to be a big upset, or are you guys going to be upset? So, Atlanta's not doing too hot. Drew Lock's looking a little bit bunned. Again, I told you at the start of the year when I did Denver's record predictions, I was 60% sure that Denver would be really good under Drew Lock because he showed some talent. And I thought he might develop. However, there was still that 40% chance that Drew Lock was going to be the same dude, if not worse. And he's been mediocre at best. His best moments are mediocre, and that's kind of scary. Denver needs to be looking for a quarterback. It might be Sam Darnold, man. I'm telling you. John Elway loves these type of guys. Next, Chicago, Tennessee. Got to make sure the Bears did not sneak one in on me. They did not, of course. Tennessee just was rolling. And they've been rolling. Derrick Henry he just eats yards. He might not be the most efficient guy in the world. He might not get 100 yards every game. But he just pounds you to death, man. I'm telling you, just pounds and pounds and pounds. And that's kind of ridiculous. Crazy. So, big news there. And if I'm not mistaken, Baltimore is okay, yeah, I'm gonna have to adjust the ratings on this because I'm like, yeah, Baltimore's definitely not 8-2. If I'm not mistaken, they're 6-4 right now. But of course, gotta save it for the next video. I'm not gonna make too many comments on this week just because we haven't finished the week. Just I want to make this for you guys. just so you guys have a video today. Because why not, right? You might as well get a little bit of a recap. Might as well not do 3 weeks. Yeah, Chicago, you need a quarterback. But again, if you guys watch my Bears video, there's nothing worth taking until later rounds. I think Sam Ehlinger is the best shot you have at having an interim guy who might suck. It might save your franchise by getting like a guy like Sam Howell. Maybe I'm trying to think of other quarterbacks who are like really good right now. If you want to go for Desmond Ridder, I don't think he fits that scheme. But again, you guys could get honestly Peterson because he's most likely going to get fired from the Eagles, and then just stick him in here with Nick Foles, and I think it would be kind of good. Now, Miami, Arizona. Miami upset this game. That was a big upset, but both teams looked really good. Tua showed his potential, hence why he's probably starting next week in Week 12. But they looked really good. Kyler Murray, he still looks really good. There's just some holes you need to fill up. And, they're two really good teams going off against each other. Pittsburgh, Dallas, they scared me there for a second, but of course, Pittsburgh pulled out. They prevailed. Dallas, not going to spoil anything, but you guys like to pull some out of the hat every now and then, but Pittsburgh always seems to be low points in like the first half and just start racking up shit in the second, which is kind of nice. It's kind of nice to be able to have faith down the line instead of be like a damn Chargers fan and be like, are we gonna die? Because Philip got us ahead like by 14 points, but then we always blow the lead. So yeah, I remember those days when Philip would always lose the game. It was insane. Green Bay, San Fran. I'm like 99% sure that Green Bay won this, but gotta make sure. Yeah, they barely won it though. It was 34-17. Again, I don't think Nick Mullins is that bad. You guys are like, oh, dude, you don't think he's that bad? Like, no, he's not an 8 win like Jimmy G's not 8 wins above replacement type shit. I'm sorry. Nick Mullins is a solid quarterback, and he competed with Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, Aaron doubled his score, but Aaron Rodgers is on another fucking level. So I think Nick Mullins definitely could be, I think they could be hiding how good Nick Mullins is, just because they can tank. I think they're really embracing that tank. Now, Giants, Washington. Did the Washington football team win this? No, they didn't. Giants won this. Daniel Jones is looking really good. So we're going to also talk about this next week. Daniel Jones is looking really good. And Washington, Alex Smith is doing a really good job. Back-to-back 400-yard games, if I'm not mistaken, or 300-yard games, first time in his career. Didn't look too hot today, but, he's... Give the guy some credit, man. He literally wasn't able to walk pretty much, and we didn't even think he could. So cheers to Washington for actually competing in games. And again, another team that pulls something out of the fuck. They pull something out of a hat. Okay. Yeah. So next, Detroit, Minnesota. Got to make sure Detroit didn't pull a sneaky one on here. They did not. Dalvin Cook just continues to eat and eat and eat. Just bottom line, Detroit. You guys, they need to. I think Matt Stafford needs to go. If you really want to get your value for Stafford, let him at least have it on again, the Bears would be a great place for Matt Stafford, but obviously they don't probably have the cap space to have him, and it's a little bit unfortunate. But his talent's being wasted in Detroit, and so is the rest of the team. They just need to go into rebuild mode, and I think they keep retooling, and you can't retool at this point. You need to rebuild. It's a little too far. New Orleans definitely made me look like an idiot here. Tampa Bay definitely showed that they have the ability to have an Achilles heel. And Drew Brees is out, so, obviously there's injury concerns for Drew, and most likely that means he's going to retire at the end of this year, just because, if he's getting injured now, the older he gets, the more fragile he gets. So this might be the last hurrah for Drew. But definitely a big statement over Tampa Bay. We'll just go into Week 10, correct everything we did wrong, because I'm pretty sure we got some games wrong. Yeah, so obviously the first one, this is where Michael Pittman came out and kind of lit up everything. Tannehill's not looking too hot, and it's a little bit scary because, he's a very consistent quarterback, but he gets hot and then he just gets lukewarm. And he's been pretty lukewarm recently, and he started off the year hot. So hopefully he can turn that around and then maybe do better. But it's obvious that Derrick Henry is the prime center of this team, and Tannehill might be the beneficiary of it. So Houston, Cleveland barely beat them, right? Yeah, 7-10. That was a ugly ass game. But again, Deshaun Watson didn't look bad at all. He didn't look bad whatsoever. So I didn't really think that he lost the game. I think his team was just It was a tough game. It was a tough game. Cleveland stacked. I told you at the beginning of the season, Cleveland stacked, man. Cincy, Pittsburgh, I'm getting bit in the ass big time for that one. Pittsburgh showed them up big time. Again, Joe Burrow didn't look too hot there, but again, he's still super talented. He didn't really make too many stupid mistakes, but Pittsburgh's uber talented, man. Like they're scary. But again, I think they might be a 16-0 team, but at the same time, I think they're winning games by so little that once they play much higher level competition, I don't know if they can pull out every single game. Chargers, Miami. Did Miami win this one? Yes, they did. They beat the Chargers 21-29, or of course 29-21. But Miami, again, they have a future, and Herbert makes some stupid mistakes every now and again. But again, Herbert has a much more talented team. He's looking really good. Tua stood him up. Again, we need to hold the brakes on Tua. He's not the best quarterback in the class, in my opinion. I had him as my second best, and to me, he's looking more like third best because the Dolphins have a really, really balanced team. I like them a lot. Now, Denver, Vegas, I'm pretty sure, did Vegas beat them? Denver might have pulled one out of the hat here. No, Raiders smacked the Broncos. Again, this is where Drew Lock's really looking like he's lagging. I've been telling you guys, the Raiders look like an 8-8 team, which they're approaching 8-8, might be like 9-7. And they're just a very talented overall team. They probably will not make the playoffs. However, they're a stacked team. They just have everything they need. They just sometimes are hot, sometimes are cold. And I think it's a solid situation overall. Next, Baltimore, New England. This is a big one. New England beat them. I'm like 99.9% sure that they did. So, cheers to Bill Belichick for being able to lock down Lamar. I'm gonna see. I think was this the game? Yeah, Lamar had his best passing game of the entire season, arguably, and it was the one game that he loses. And that kind of shows you that he is a runner with the ability to pass, because a real quarterback wouldn't be able to just kind of put up numbers without putting up a dub. It's just like, Cam Newton is the same situation as Lamar, and Damian Harris and stuff. Like, Baltimore should have never lost at all. It's a little bit embarrassing to see Baltimore lose, and I'm pretty sure they lost again today. So at this rate, actually Baltimore is out of the playoffs, which they won't be, but it's just kind of funny to think that, right? Jacksonville, Green Bay, talked about this earlier. Luton showing up and kind of cooling off this week, but again, Aaron Rodgers is starting to look like he's putting off the gas a little bit. But that doesn't mean he won't put it back on. He definitely will, but Gotta watch that. He could be caught if he's napping a little bit. Buffalo, Arizona. This one I gotta check because I watched the game, but I just gotta make sure. Yeah, Cardinals barely beat the Bills. These are two juggernauts going at each other, man. Like the AFC East is looking good too. Miami's cooking, Buffalo's cooking, and then same thing with the NFC West. It's like Arizona's cooking, Seattle's doing pretty well. So is the Rams. Like these divisions are looking good. So. Didn't really expect Tua to play. That's probably the reason why I didn't rate Miami that highly. But, there's actually some good competition in the NFL, and I like it. Philly lost to the Giants when they were arrested. That's kind of embarrassing. Yeah. Daniel Jones has been showing out, though. Again, like, you guys roasted me for saying Daniel Jones has talent. Come at me again. What about now? He almost beat Tom Brady. He's beaten a shitty Wentz. He beat Alex Smith. Like, maybe not big names, but he's showing up, and he's doing it well. And he's using his legs, and I think they might have found the right scheme for him. So just watch out. Like, New York actually has something. Wayne Gallman's been doing pretty well in the scheme as well, and it's overall just a really solid outing for him. Now, Washington and Detroit. If I'm not mistaken, Washington made me look like an idiot. They didn't. The Lions did come back. Again, Washington's looking like they can just compete, and they're doing a very good job. They're in every game. It's not like I can write them off anymore. So. Cheers to them for having some solid backups that can just at least give a little bit of experience to the guys who need some more experience and more development on that offense. The offensive line is doing a pretty damn good job. I think we lost Cornelius Lucas, but he will be back. And we know the future's really bright for Washington. Now, Tampa Bay, Carolina, got to make sure, the Panthers were up for a while. Then the Bucs came back and smacked them. Brady definitely didn't like getting showed up by Drew Brees, and of course, Teddy Bridgewater got injured, and well, there's not really much more we can talk about that. Seattle, Los Angeles, I'm pretty sure LA won this game, but they did it in a very weird fashion, i.e., not giving me the fantasy points I needed to win the week. Both with Jared Goff and with Cooper Kupp. I had them both in, and they both were pretty ass. But, a win's a win, right? And again, Russell Wilson's starting to crawl slowly away from the MVP. And he's already had a pretty big distance, and he's just inching back more and more. So it's a little bit embarrassing. San Francisco, New Orleans. I'm 99% sure New Orleans won. Yeah. So this is the game where Drew Brees went out, and then Jabu Winston didn't really do that much. And then, of course, Taysom Hill started today. Still don't like the guy. We'll talk about it, but still don't like him. Now, Minnesota, Chicago. Last but not least, Vikings, they did their thing. Justin Jefferson did a really good job going up against Jalen Johnson, who's a stud corner. And, of course, Dalvin Cook ate. If I'm not mistaken, I'm going to check the stats right now just for you guys. 96 yards. He was held to, 3.2 yards per carry, which is really fucking low. But, Kirk actually stayed on pace and was able to put up almost 300 yards. And that's kind of what you need to do to beat a Bears team that has a really good defense. So obviously they showed that they could shut down Dalvin Cook just like I thought they would. But of course 30 rushes, that opens up the play action game, and that kind of led to Minnesota winning. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think of the title. Sorry, it was a little bit of a boring video because, I'm dead inside. I think we're all dead inside at this point. We're all excited for times to change, and I'm excited for a winter break, man. We didn't even have we barely have a Thanksgiving break. We didn't have an autumn break. We didn't have anything. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you on the far side. Peace.